Hey, 8-bar corner pocket, calling all the shots, boy. Raw denim, 5 pockets, feeling like a hot boy. Y'all tripping, I was in the crib watching Top Boy. Chopping up this green, guess I got a thing for bok choy. Ain't worry about your playlist, bruh. I need an alias, I need a foreign passport, and a change of radius. I don't pay them, but I don't save them, I ain't the glaciers. Need 2 chains like Def Jam to change the glaciers. Titanic crash against flush, you know my wave crazy. Put over with no ID, look like cocaine 80. Same kid with stripes like a ref's average shirt. Got the next magic verse, got my chest tatted first. Treasures, Antioch stores make desperate measures. Back when you had a 1-up when your shirt said pleasures. Was in the church like elders, was underground like shelters. Made a plan to get it and kept it together like welders. I'm living stress-free, never catch me, never test me, oh no. I'm living stress-free, never catch me, never test me, oh no. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. Whoa, 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 whoa. All black leather now, my vibe much better now. My tribe said I'm the one, my time feel extra now. My instincts dialed in, my senses is dialed up. My sentences chime in, they eyebrows rise up. I feel like a titan writing the scripture. My might is touching the mixture, designing the holy picture. Reminisce on tradition, my fighting the heart with the knockout. Genesis definition of light when God told me pop out. With a smile on my face upon my arrival. It's a difference when racing for your survival. Think I'm poised to win it. Checker flags, waving Nipsey honor. Drinking Chardonnay with my little mama banging Rihanna. Icons of this time that we live. I'm facing my every fear. I'm taking time to be still. I'm breaking down every barricade as I wait at the pier. Still waters run deep and I swear it's great to be here. I'm learning patience this year, chasing greatness this year. I'm making statements before they happen, creating this year. I seen love leave and I seen hatred appear. And my ears adjust to the silence, the snakes I can hear. But it's never scary. The DNA of God, hereditary. Hey, 8-bar corner pocket, calling all the shots, boy. Raw denim, 5 pockets, feeling like a hot boy. Y'all tripping, I was in the crib watching Top Boy. Chopping up this green, guess I got a thing for bok choy. Ain't worry about your playlist, bruh. I need an alias, I need a foreign passport, and a change of radius. I don't pay them, but I don't save them, I ain't the glaciers. Need 2 chains like Def Jam to change the glaciers. Titanic crash against flush, you know my wave crazy. Put over with no ID, look like cocaine 80. Same kid with stripes like a ref's average shirt. Got the next magic verse, got my chest tatted first. Treasures, Antioch stores make desperate measures. Back when you had a 1-up when your shirt said pleasures. Was in the church like elders, was underground like shelters. Made a plan to get it and kept it together like welders. I'm living stress-free, never catch me, never test me, oh no. I'm living stress-free, never catch me, never test me, oh no. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. Whoa, 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 whoa. All black leather now, my vibe much better now. My tribe said I'm the one, my time feel extra now. My instincts dialed in, my senses is dialed up. My sentences chime in, they eyebrows rise up. I feel like a titan writing the scripture. My might is touching the mixture, designing the holy picture. Reminisce on tradition, my fighting the heart with the knockout. Genesis definition of light when God told me pop out. With a smile on my face upon my arrival. It's a difference when racing for your survival. Think I'm poised to win it. Checker flags, waving Nipsey honor. Drinking Chardonnay with my little mama banging Rihanna. Icons of this time that we live. I'm facing my every fear. I'm taking time to be still. I'm breaking down every barricade as I wait at the pier. Still waters run deep and I swear it's great to be here. I'm learning patience this year, chasing greatness this year. I'm making statements before they happen, creating this year. I seen love leave and I seen hatred appear. And my ears adjust to the silence, the snakes I can hear. But it's never scary. The DNA of God, hereditary. We all in the same class, but the lessons vary. Old school ambition, but painted extra cherry. Receive the fruits of my labor, I think it's necessary. I'm living stress-free, never catch me, never test me, oh no. I'm living stress-free, never catch me, never test me, oh no. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Something, room is spinning, where I'm living. Feeling kinda lonely, I could use a little something. Don't give me up, I seen the light, 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 light. I see the reason in the night, 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 night. And every time I close my eyes, guess I just need you by my side. Yeah, my heart gets cold, I need you when the lights go low. And my heart gets cold, I need you more than you know. After all the time that's passed, is it wrong to say I want you back? Yeah, my heart gets cold, I need you when the lights go low. No love wasted if you take it. If you feel a little lonely, I could use a little something. We could make a new beginning. Feel a little lonely, I could use a little something. Don't give me up, I see the light, 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 light. I see the reason in the night, 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 night. And every time I close my eyes, guess I just need you by my side. Yeah, my heart gets cold, I need you when the lights go low. Yeah, my heart gets cold, I need you more than you know. After all the time that's passed, is it wrong to say I want you back? Yeah, my heart gets cold, I need you when the lights go low.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Israel Roman, and I'll be your host for today. For those people watching us via Zoom, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. For those people joining us via our Facebook Live page, thank you so much as well. Please do like and share our Facebook Live stream to your friends, families, and groups. That would be very much appreciated. And we will start in less than a minute. Okay, it's time to start. Once again, welcome everyone. Good evening, good morning. My name is Israel Roman, a licensed immigration consultant based here in Canada. And our webinar, our Facebook live stream topic for this session is basically how to immigrate to Canada as a registered nurse. This is a very popular subject. There's a lot of nurses out there outside of Canada wanting to come to Canada and have a different career in life and a better, some would say a better journey. So we are here to give you guys your options on how to make it a reality, how to make it how to make your dream come true of like working as a nurse here in Canada. So once again, my name is Israel Roman, and I am a licensed Canadian immigration consultant, and at the same time, an active registered nurse here in Canada. So I would know, I would have the a bit of an expertise when it comes to Canadian immigration, and at the same time, how to become an RN here in Canada, because I myself immigrated from the Philippines to here as a RN. Okay. And just a one tip, if someone's already helping you with your immigration paperwork, giving you advice on how to come to Canada, just make sure that they are licensed with ICCRC or our licensure body, because even if they're giving you free advice, they are supposed to be licensed with ICCRC. Okay. Our offices, we have our main office here in Nanaimo, British Columbia, and then we have our branch office in the Philippines, and that is in Batangas. So as I've said, for those people who are giving advice, giving you tips on how to Canada, on how to come to Canada, they need to be licensed with ICCRC, or the Immigration Consultant of Canada Regulatory Council. Because those, and like myself, we did take the immigration policy course. And once we have completed the course, we have to take the board exam and then stay an active member of ICCRC. It's similar to RNs. You take the course, you take your board exam, and you maintain your active status within your regulation, within your the regulatory body for for your country. So how do you check that one? All right, if you're curious, okay, how can I check if Israel Roman is really licensed with ICCRC? So you go to their website, and on the right hand side, it would show you complaints and discipline. Right. So if you have any concern with the person that's helping you out with your immigration paperwork, you can file a complaint, and ICCRC will take care of that person. Okay. But if you do file a complaint and that person is not licensed with ICCRC, unfortunately, you're on your own, because ICCRC won't be able to help you. When it comes to, so now, how do you check? You go to the left hand side, and where it says public register, click learn more. So for this one, for this webinar, let's go type in my name. So last name is Roman, first name is Israel, and let's see what comes up. And there you go. So name Roman Israel, status is active, and the license number is there. And when you hit contact, it would show you where I am working from. Okay, so it's same thing with the other agents or the other consultants. You'll see it. So for myself, I am from Nanaimo, BC, Canada, and the company that I work for is Roman and Associates Immigration Services Limited. Okay, and also another advice: check the business, right? So if the business is really running, is really a legitimate business, so for Roman and Associates, you can do that one by going to Canada Business Registry, because we are a Canadian company. If it's a company based out of your from your country, then I'm pretty sure there is a way on how to check if that business is really a legitimate business. So just type in the name and I'll show you. All right, so it would show you Roman and Associates Immigration Services Limited, and the status is active BC company. Okay, and if you want to make sure that I'm really practicing RN here in BC, we can go to google.com or to any search engine for that matter. And also, you can do this one if you want to check and be sure there's no red flag for on that person that's helping you with your Canadian visa, right? So, search engine, type in the name. So, for this seminar, it or webinar, let's type in Israel Roman Nanaimo, and you'll see on the right hand side Roman and Associates, and because that's the company that I work for, and you'll see this is from Google, right? And you cannot just have Google publish a company without them checking it, verifying it. And the address is Nanaimo, BC. And right now we're closed. And this is the number. And the reason why we're closed is that today is Saturday, 5 in the morning. So, and there's some review, Google review. So that's good. Now, on the left hand side, we want to see really if Israel does really work in Nanaimo as an RN. Okay, let's go find something. Probably this one would help you. NanaiMoBulletin.com, Israel NRGH Intensive Care Unit Telemetry Medicine Floor Heart Health Manager. Yes, so I'm no longer a frontline nurse. I'm now a nurse manager. So it's been I've been nursing since here in Nanaimo since 2008. There you go. And you'll see here as well, Help Match BC, contact Israel Roman, manager for ICU, EDL, PACU, Heart Health, Nanaimo Regional General Hospital. And yep, that is still my work email, israel.roman@viha.ca. Okay. Oh, and maybe pictures. You want to see some pictures just to make sure. That is totally fine. So let's open my video there. And you can see the clock behind me. So Nanaimo News Bulletin, Nanaimo Hospital Auxiliary Donation tops 300,000. And that's myself right there giving a quick speech, quick thank you speech to the volunteers. And if you can see right there, it does say City of Nanaimo. Okay. This one right here is same BC local news. Nanaimo Hospital gets 340,000, and that's me right there holding a big check for the Nanaimo Hospital. One more. Yes, this is again myself, Nanaimo Hospital Foundation, and it's me touring one of our guests in our hospital. So let's see if there's any other picture. That's it for me. Okay. All right. So now with this one, I'm hoping that you are now certain that I am legally able to provide you with immigration advice because I'm licensed with ICCRC. Our company is a legitimate company, and Israel Roman does really exist. And it's just Yeah, and here in Nanaimo, BC. Okay. Okay, so how to become a registered nurse? This is we do get this question all the time, and it's a really direct question on, I'm a nurse, I want to come to Canada as a nurse. How can I get work? I want to immigrate to Canada as a nurse, something along those lines. So my direct answer to that one is, it is impossible for a nurse to come to Canada and work as a registered nurse right away. Okay, so it's hard for an RN to get a work permit and work as an RN. There's some hoops to go through, but we are here to make it a more streamlined process for you guys. Okay. Now, one question would be the Express Entry program. If you know the Express Entry program, or later on you'll encounter an Express Entry program, the question that you might have is, as an RN, can I go through that Express Entry Federal Skilled? So, in the Express Entry, in order for you to have a chance of getting invited to be a permanent resident, your IELTS, they need to be at least 8.0, and you need to have, in terms of your education, you need to have 2 degree or a master's degree as well. And when it comes to the age, to get a perfect score, you need to be between 18 to 35. Okay, so those three right there, it's with those three, yes, the age is okay, that's easy, right? The education, possibly, yeah, right. So but then also, you need to match it with your IELTS. It has to be 8.0 or higher, and sometimes that can be very, very, very challenging. That's why I would say it is sometimes, it's possible, but it's very, very, very hard to go through the express entry as a nurse. Okay, so there are two options. I'll give you first the not so easy version. The usual, it would be, if you go step by step kind of thing, right? So first is your IELTS. Okay, so you need to take your IELTS, and it has to be academic IELTS. Once you have taken your IELTS, you go to NNAS, or it is the National Nursing Assessment Service. So basically, this is the company that looks after your credentials, your education, and compare it to the Canadian education and see if there's any difference, if there's any gaps. Okay, and this is done. The processing time for this one is at least 12 months. Okay. Then after that one, once you have the result of your NNAS, you'll have to retake your IELTS. And the reason being is that probably your first IELTS has now expired because of the length of time NNAS uh, processes application, right? So it might have been 2 years since your first IELTS. So you have to take your IELTS the second time around, okay, in order to proceed to the next step, which is the NCAS, or the Nursing Competency Assessment Service. So with this one, an exam, all right, an assessment exam, and it's two parts. One would be the computer-based assessment. You can take this one. There are 50 countries that are able to provide NCAS computer-based assessment for nursing. Then the second part is a simulated lab and oral assessment. So this one, an example of this one would be if you go back to your nursing days, nursing student days, you'll have some theory on how to do things. Let's say head to toe assessment. So you'll have theory step by step on how to do a proper head to toe assessment. And at the end of the week, you'll have your return demonstration. So it would be the same thing. This one would be the same thing. It is, let's say you go to the simulated, you go to the lab and you perform your head to toe assessment with the oral panel around you and asking questions while you do your head to toe assessment. And this is a 2 day exam. And for this one, you will have to come to Canada for it because this is only given in a designated school in each province. Okay. So it cannot be done in your home country. So you'll have to come here, apply first for a visa, probably a visit visa, and in order to get here and do the exam. Once you have completed the NCAS, actually the simulated lab and oral assessment, then time for you to go back to your home country and wait for the result. Okay. Once the College of Nursing or the regulatory for nursing finishes their assessment using the NNAS and NCAS, once they have done their assessment, they will be able to determine what are the coursework you need as an internationally educated nurses. And chances are, if you're internationally educated nurse, 99.9% you'll have some type of course to take, transitional coursework. It could be a month of course, it could be or the course could be 6 months, or it could be a year, or it could even be 3 or 4 years. And this one can for BC, I'm not sure about the other province on which school, but in BC you can only take this one in the following school: Kwantlen and Thompson's Rivers University. Okay, so for this one, then since you're back home again, you will have to apply now for a study permit to come here and take those courses for a year, 3 years, 4 years. Okay. Then once you have completed that one, then it's time for you to register for your NCLEX. And once you have done your NCLEX, then you search for your full-time employment. Okay. So it's not so easy because there's too many steps that it's kind of going back and forth to your home country, right? And yeah, you might get the you might get a visa for your visit visa, but then you'll have to apply again for your study permit. Okay, and this one won't really help you find an employer as well for your full-time employment. Okay, so what is the other option? What would be my option? Okay, so the option two is a fast and easy pathway for nurses and how to come to Canada and work as a nurse, end up as a registered nurse. Okay, so it is the study permit pathway. So study, work, and immigrate pathway. Okay, so first is take the 12-month nursing review course as a study permit. Then you will apply for your permanent residency via BC Provincial Nominee Program as early as co-op starts. What does that mean? So in your study permit, in the course, in the actual course, a nursing review course, it's a 12-month course. On the latter part of your course, there's four modules. You have the nursing review that would help you with your NCLEX and as well as how to practice here in Canada. And then you have your NCLEX review, and the last one would be your co-op, or if you go back again to your nursing education years, it would be your practicum, right? Let's say you're doing a nursing duty as a student in the medical ward or surgical ward. It's the same thing. The co-op is the same thing. So on the latter part of the course will be your co-op. And as a nursing student, you will get paid as a nurse as well while you're doing your co-op. Okay? While you're doing your practicum, you're already getting paid as well. And at that stage, you will be able to apply for your permanent residency. So you start with your provincial nominee program. So for BC, it would be the PNP for the healthcare professionals. So that is while you're studying, right? While you're still in school. Then BC would sponsor you. The province would sponsor you for permanent residency. Then you apply for your actual permanent resident status using the express entry. Then within 2 years, you are a permanent resident. Okay, so 1 year study permit, and I'll show you later on a better visual. So 1 year study permit, 6 months PNP application or provincial nominee program application, and the other 6 months would be for your permanent residency application. So in 2 years' time, you'll be a permanent resident of Canada and licensed RN as well. Okay. So what are the requirements then? Because I want to know if I'll be qualified for this one, right? So federal. So this is for the study permit application, your visa. So you need to be enrolled in a designated learning institution, which we'll make sure, which I can assure you that the school is DLI or has a DLI. You need to prove that you have enough money to pay for your tuition fee. Okay, so tuition fee for the nursing review course, and as well as you need to show that you have the money to support yourself while you're studying. And if you're bringing your spouse and dependents, yes, you can bring your spouse and dependents. But you need to show that you're also able to support your spouse and your dependents while you are in school. Okay. And again, yes, you can bring your spouse and be admissible to Canada. So that means no criminal offense or misrepresentation on your file, and relatively in good health. If you have high blood pressure, that's okay. As long as you are on medication, that should be fine. So now for school requirement, you need to be an RN in the country of your residency. Okay? Have a minimum of 1125 hours of RN experience within the last 4 years. Okay? So this one is easy because if you are already working full time for a year, you have already checked this one because usually full time That would give you almost 1900 hours. Minimum IELTS score of 6.5 overall with no score lower than no score lower than 6.0. Okay, and pass the comprehensive nursing assessment. And this one right here is for the school to determine really if you are a candidate that would pass their course and as well as be a successful RN here in Canada. They don't just take any nurses, any applicants in their course. Okay, so they need to make sure that you will pass their course. You have the ability, capability to pass their course and pass the NCLEX as well and be a successful RN in Canada. Okay, so this one might be different from where the country that you're from because maybe they have a their admission is sometimes open to all kind of thing, right? So not for this one. So what is the Canadian Nursing Review? So basically this one would help you get the skills required in order for you to meet the Canadian standards, right? And it will also help you with your nursing licensure exam. And I can attest that this would help you greatly when it comes to adjusting from your practice, nursing practice in your own country and here in Canada because it's totally different practice. Okay. And I can attest you to that one because, as I've said, I am also an RN here in Canada and I came from the Philippines and totally there's a very, very big difference. Okay. So the program may, as I've said, there's four components. So one is the Canadian Nursing Review, which includes the clinical experience. Okay, so this is not the co-op. This is just nursing review and then clinical experience. Then you have your final clinical competency. It is also the review for your NCLEX. Then you have your leadership in nursing, and then lastly would be your co-op education work experience. So this is the one that I was telling you that even though you are still a student completing the course, you are already going to get paid as an RN during this co-op education. So benefits, it's almost easy criteria, right? Because almost every RN can join the program, and I say almost every RN because, again, there's still criteria for sure and the comprehensive assessment, but I'm just optimistic that everyone, almost everyone, will be able to join this program. You're allowed to work during the studies on campus. So off school, let's say you come here and school doesn't start until 1 month later, right? So you can, while you're waiting, you can work, right? So if it's off season, off school season, you can work 40 hours a week. During school, you're allowed to work 20 hours per week. But once you are in your co-op, since you're already earning as an RN as well, I don't think you'll be working elsewhere, right? So, but maybe before the co-op, yes. As a student, you are allowed to bring your spouse, okay? But of course, they have to apply as well for their visa. Once you have received your diploma, you stay in Canada because you are already in the process, right, of getting your permanent residency. You're either almost. complete with your PNP or your provincial nominee program application, or you just started your application for your permanent residency status. Okay, so you won't leave Canada after you have completed the course. You'll stay here. Unlike the first option, you have to go back and forth. Then permanent residency. Okay, so let's go review what is the wage of an RN here in Canada. Why would I bother coming to Canada? What is the wage? Okay, so we look at, let's say this one is for BC Nurses Union and this is for British Columbia. So every nurses in British Columbia, this is the grid that they look at when it comes to their wage. So for level 3, which is the entry level, first year, this is the wage that you'll get, 34.83 and no lower than that one per hour. Next year, you jump to 36.17. Next year, 37.51. On your ninth year, it would be $45.73 per hour. Level 1, Level 2, this is the licensed practical nurse, so this one won't be for you. Level 4, 5, and 6 would be the supervisory roles. Okay. So, yes, so first year, 34.83. But if you're done with your course, now you can now go back to HR and say, I've been nursing for, let's say, 5 years in my home country. So you'll be completing a form and submitting something to prove that you've been nursing for 5 years. Then once they have looked at that one, your wage would be your starting wage would be either 38.84 or 40.19. So you won't start here. You won't start in the 34.83. You'll start with 38.84 or 40.19 right away. Okay. So they will count your nursing experience back home. So let's do a sample computation really so that we can visually see how much 34.83 is really. Okay, so entry level nursing, first year, 34.83 times 40 hours a week. That would give you 1,537.20. And also on your co op, though, while you're doing your co op, this would be your wage as well. Okay, it won't be lower than this one just because you're a student. No, it would be the same wage. It would be 34.83 during your co op time. Okay. Then in a week, I mean, in a month, that would give you 6,148. That's in a month. In a year, then, that would give you close to $80,000. Okay. Now, okay, $80,000, it sounds still low, 5 digits. Why would I bother coming to Canada for a 5 digit salary? Okay. Let's convert that one to your, let's say, Philippine peso. 80,000, close to 80,000 would be close to 3 million pesos per year or 2.7 million pesos per year. My question to you now is, as a nurse in the Philippines, would you ever get 2.7 million pesos a year? If you've been nursing for 10 years now, are you getting the same amount potentially? 2.7 million pesos? And mind you as well, the workload, right? So I'll give you and I'll give you some overview of the nursing workload here. So for the hospital that I work for, our workload would be a nurse will be looking after probably four, five, six, seven patients, right? Those six and seven sometimes is a push, but normally it's four to six, right? And sometimes you with that one, there are units wherein you have health care aides or nursing unit or care aides. Yeah, that would help you as well provide care for those six patients. And you have a unit clerk as well, right? And then, yeah, so I'm pretty sure nursing workload here is way better than nursing workload in the Philippines because, again, my time, I know how many patients I was looking at during my time, right? It's the entire ward, the entire medicine ward. Okay. So so I'm hoping that this would also one of the things that would motivate you to come to Canada, right? So yeah. So that would be a good question for you is will I ever earn 2.7 million pesos as a nurse here in the Philippines? Or if you convert 80,000 in your home country, would you ever earn that money in your country? Okay. So with that one in mind, that is very, very good news, right? Not just it's not just I can see the light at the end of the tunnel and when it comes to being a permanent resident of Canada. Within 2 years, I'll be a permanent resident in Canada as a registered nurse. And I have potentially I'll be earning 80,000 or 2.7 million pesos. But I'm pretty sure that one won't come for free, right? There's expenses attached to it, which is correct. Of course, there are expenses attached to it. And I look at those expenses as an investment. Why? Because you are spending money in order to have an income, in order to earn money. Okay, so it's an investment. That's how investment works. You shed out money because later on you'll get your investment back. So same thing with this one. You pay the expenses and later on you'll get it back. All right. And I think this one is I think this one is better than no offense to those people doing the entrepreneurship, let's say online business, wherein you have to buy products, sell those products, and hopefully you have customers that would need and want the product that you're selling, and it goes on a routine basis. And when will you get your investment back? I'm not sure. How quick? How much are you profiting per bottle per product? I'm not sure, but I don't think it would be luxurious or big, right? That would help you or your family in the long term. And again, no offense to those people, that is a very, 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 very decent business. I'm just comparing it when it comes to investment, right? Return and it's a return of investment. And yes, definitely, this one would have a higher investment attached to it, but the return of investment, you have control over it because you're the one controlling how many hours will you be working in order to get your investment back. Okay. So once we have determined that you are eligible for this program, that you will be a successful candidate for this program, that you will be able to pass this program and the NCLEX and be a successful RN here in Canada, then we go to the next step, which is the registration. And On the second step, the administration fee will be due. And our fee for that one would be 48,000 pesos only, or 1,400 Canadian dollars. And for with this webinar, we are throwing out there free unlimited IELTS review and free IELTS exam as well. In order for you to get the score that you need, we'll have the unlimited IELTS review thrown in for you. Okay, so 48,000. Once you have settled that one, then we coordinate now your IELTS review and then your IELTS exam as well. Then we do your school application, and of course, there's a school application fee for that one. And then once you are admitted by the school, dependent on your down payment, then you have to now, it's now time to pay for your down payment, which is for this one, it is 8,150. Then, as part also of this webinar, we are waiving our consultant's retainer's fee. Okay, so if you go down all the way down here, your potential investment would be close to, it would be 1.1 million, but again your return of investment would be 2.7. So if you're looking for a loan, whoever you're going to loan that money, you can assure them that you'll be able to pay it back within a year. Okay, so again, potential incomes 2.7 million pesos. So let's look at the process again, because I know it's confusing. So first is your eligibility check. Okay, after your eligibility check, we, because on that one we need to make sure that we can proceed. We don't want to waste your time and money, right? So we want to determine that one first if we can proceed to the next step. If we have assessed that yes, you are a viable candidate, then the admin fee is due 1,400 CAD, or 48,000 pesos. The IELTS exam is free. Then we submit your initial documents to the school, right? Then the initial down payment will be due. So for the down payment, this one is paid directly to the school and not to us. You don't it doesn't go through us as well. We won't be touching your money on this one, even if it's an electronic way of doing it. You will electronically directly pay that one to the school. If for some reason your visa gets refused, your down payment will be refunded to you. Okay, and receive your official letter of acceptance, which you will submit together with the rest of your application. Also, at this time, once you receive your letter of acceptance, usually the retainer's fee is due. But again, for this one, for this webinar, that one is being waived. So that's great news. Then we prepare your documents for your study permit. Before we submit your application to IRCC, the last payment of 500 will be due normally, but not for this webinar. For this one will be waived. So that's again good news for you guys. And apply for your study permit and come to Canada. I know there's a lot of steps, but we are here to make it a very seamless process for you. Another way of looking at the process: eligibility checked, registration, then you take your IELTS, school application, acceptance letter, submit to IRCC, then come to Canada. Okay, so this is one way also of looking the process on a higher level overview. So fast and easy pathway to Canada as an RN. Why? Again, because study permit for a year, you will study nursing review course for a year, then BC PNP or BC Provincial Nominee Program 6 months. Processing time for that one is 6 months. But again, you can attach this one. You can start this one while you're here, right? So then once you are receive a sponsorship letter from the province, then you apply for your express entry. You apply for your permanent residency via express entry, okay? And within 6 months, you'll get your permanent resident. So in 2 years or lesser than 2 years, you will receive your permanent resident status and at the same time practicing RN as well. And later on, apply for your citizenship if you want to. So, yes, so this is, I think, again, for now, this is the fastest and easiest way to come to Canada as an RN. Okay. Yes, you might want to come to Canada as a caregiver, but once there's a significant gap wherein you haven't nursed for a while, the College of Nursing or the regulatory body for nursing would determine that there is a big gap on nursing experience. So now, in order for you to get licensed, you'll need to take 3 year course or even take the entire course again. Okay, so it's almost if you come to Canada as a caregiver with an RN background, you might want to say goodbye to nursing career because it might be difficult to get it back. Okay, so those are the things that you would like that I think you need to think about. Yes, this one right here is fast and easy with higher investment, but you'll get the goal is for you to be a permanent resident and an RN at the same time. Okay, and yeah. So next steps, only if this is the program for you. If you are still interested in this one and this is the right program for you as an RN, you want to be an RN here in Canada and be a permanent resident and at the same time avail of those bonuses, perks that were thrown on this webinar, which is the free unlimited IELTS review, free IELTS exam, and the professional fee being waived. If this is for you, please send your resume to assessment at romancanadianimmigration.ca for us to do our eligibility check. There's no fee for this one. We just want to make sure that we're not wasting your time and money. That's why we're doing this one. Then, if also on the subject line, please type in SP via nursing live stream. Okay, study permit via nursing live stream because we want to make sure that we are able to triage your email because there's a lot of emails coming in. So yeah. Then when we find that you are eligible, then we go to the next step. And it would only be on that next step that you will have to pay the administration fee. So that's it for me. Thank you, everyone. I'm hoping that you guys learned a lot. I'm hoping that you guys got all the information you need on how to become an RN here in Canada. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type them in the comment section or in the Q&A for Zoom. If you are just finishing watching this one via recording, thank you so much. Please do not hesitate to share this recording to your friends and families that you think would benefit from this. Once again, thank you everyone. I will be answering questions right after this one. I'll give you guys a few minutes to type in your questions. For the rest, have a great evening, good night, and always stay safe. Shout out to Sheila, Shemi. Hello, Shemi. Hello, Jude. Hi, Chris, Eileen, Renea. Hello, Mitch, Jennifer. Hello, Sang. Hello, Banning. Hello, Gerald, CJ. Hello, Lyra, Myra. Hello, Ellen Rose, Ronald Serrano. Hello, Ray Lee. Hello, Mincy, Rowena, Sherry. Hi to Caitlin, Marina, Tony, Leticia. Hello, Janet, Rose Hanley. Hi to Fatty, Dom Paris. Thank you for watching, Siva, Remia, Lani. Hello, Sari. Hi to Upi. Hello, Sam, Lauren, Alma, Sheila. Hi, Manpreet. Hello, Faye. Again, thank you everyone for watching. If you have any questions after when we are now offline, please do not hesitate to ask them on our Facebook page, Messenger. We'll be happy to answer them. For now, have a good night and stay safe, everyone.